Hello and welcome back to Life in KMAX. I'm hopping on here again. I'm 2 for 2, 2 days in a row, again in the car. And I'm driving to an appointment, which I'm most likely going to be late to. And I wanted to hop on here and share something that we did last night as part of our family. So, probably a month ago, our pastor at our church had us sign up to go have a meal with the homeless downtown in the town that we live in. And it was on a Thursday. He was saying that on Thursdays where we live, there are few to no food sources for them, meaning like food, I don't know, churches that they can go eat at. I don't know why Thursdays, and I don't know why they don't have access to food on Thursdays. So we took them a meal and we drove downtown to where they usually congregate. And it's just funny how the Lord leads. Like there was two groups of people. So my husband and I chose a couple, and then they went their separate ways, our pastor and the other part of the team. And as we were talking to this couple, we just sat down with them and talked to them and gave them a meal. And we ended up actually leading one of them to the Lord, which was just awesome how that worked out. And it's just something in me just woke up that day. Like, I have lived here for so many years in this general area, and I pray for the homeless, and I don't I do what I can, but like, it never occurred to me to just sit with them and talk to them and look them in the eyes and get to know them on a personal level and find out, maybe what led to their homelessness and how they got to where they are, and just how can I pray for you, and how, and so anyway, the man mentioned that his shoes were too small and they had holes in them. And so we just kind of felt led to get him a pair of shoes. So we went to a Volunteers of America that week, or maybe that weekend, I think, and found a nice pair of shoes. And we ended up getting them for free, but I'm not going to get into that because I think actually I will. The manager of the store, because there was no price on the shoes, so he assumed that somebody came in and left those shoes and took a pair of shoes. So anyway, we ended up getting those shoes for free. So we couldn't find them that weekend, and then we ended up going out of town, and it had been a while. But last night, so as we were driving around, I saw more people sitting out there, and I'm like, what can we do? What can we do? And that was the day in the car that our new ministry, Eyes to See, was birthed. So I always pray when I pray, Lord, give me eyes to see, give me ears to hear, give me discernment, give me a heart that loves like you. And so Eyes to See is our homeless ministry, and we are going on Thursdays to literally just find homeless people and feed them. So I will never know how much to get. And my goal is to be consistent, Lord willing, and learn their names and form relationships with these people, because they come from a lot of different backgrounds, and there's some mental issues going on, and obviously a lot of hurt. And so we went out last night, and people have been so generous. I've had people drop off homemade bread and silverware and peanut butter, and somebody donated some money to get supplies. And my goal in these winter seasons, or these cold winter seasons, winter and fall, like the cold weather seasons is what I meant, is to make like hearty soups, hot drinks, like a cup of hot chocolate or coffee. And I just pray, like, Lord, lead us to who you want us to see. And so last night we had my husband and our 7-year-old son and a good friend of ours went out loaded with some food, and we just started driving around, and we didn't see anyone, and I just was praying, like, show us who you want us to find. And so we found, yeah, I don't know how old she was, younger woman, sitting with her blankets outside, and it was cold and it was drizzly and windy. And so we were able to feed her and talk with her. And I have these little cards that have Psalm 23 on them, and I just share with them how meaningful that is to me and how much I love that passage. And so we pass those out too. We ask how we can pray with them, for them. Some are receptive, some are not, and that's okay. And I just tell them, Lord willing, we want to come each Thursday and feed people and meet with people. And then we found another young man. He was hurting, and we could tell that he was hurting. Our friend that was with us, he does a prison ministry, so he deals with all kinds of situations. And he said that, I was getting in my spirit like he was holding back because he felt like he didn't deserve something. And so our friend was like, there's a history there, and he shared what he assumed was going on. And we were driving, and I was like, man, and I happened to see a man sitting on the steps of a church, and I was like, right there. And so we went back, and there was actually a man in a wheelchair that was up the steps and under the awning. And this man that was sitting on the steps of the church ended up being the man that we met like a month ago. And so we were really excited to reconnect with him. And then his partner, girlfriend, I'm not sure if it's fiance or whatever, she had been a couple streets over, and she came over, and we gave him the shoes. And they were just mentioning, like, the man in the wheelchair just tugged at me. And so we went. Also, these homeless people have a cat, so they take their cat with them everywhere, and her name is Miracle. And he was saying that he hasn't had food for her, so he's just been giving her some of his food. And I don't want to share too much because that's their personal information, but we went to the Dollar General there, and I got her some cat food, and I got the man in a wheelchair a blanket, and we got him some gloves and whatever. So I tell you all of that not at all to say, look at me, look what we're doing. It's not that. It's I encourage you to see, to look around and just pay attention to what's around you, because there are a lot of people that are in need. And homelessness just breaks my heart because there's absolutely no reason for it. I just look at all these abandoned buildings that are everywhere, and we look at these people and we pass them in our cars, and it's so easy to judge and be in our flesh, like, why don't you get a job? Why don't you this? And I know, like, when we've gone to New York City, we love to go there at least once a year. And I've seen veterans, homeless, in the coldest weather, older women, older men, and that just breaks, like, elderly. That breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, all of it. But I read, like I said, I think in my last video, I might not have, but I read once, you can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. And that is so very true and relevant. And just pay attention to what the Lord is showing you, and you can do something. Maybe just, if you see them, get on their level. Meaning, what I mean is, like, sit down with them, look them in the eyes. How are you? Like, what can I pray for you about? What? I even go as far as, just as they start talking and sharing, to what brought you to this point? Do you have family local? Do you, what does a day look like for you? and they'll start to share. Like the man that we saw yesterday for the second time, I think he already looked at us like as his friends. Like my husband had to run and get something from the car, and I don't know. I was just like, we'll just be right here. Somebody said something, and the man that we bought shoes for, he was like, "Oh, nobody's gonna touch them. I'll throw hands if they try to hurt them." Like he was just being so protective of us, and I thought that was sweet. And my little boy, we were so proud of him because he just jumped right in. He shook their hands, and as we would leave each person, he would call them by name and say, "Bye, so and so. Bye, so and so." And it was just so sweet. It was so cute. Um, and he didn't complain, and he's sweet. Um, so yeah, so I say all that to say, find someone that you can bless today. Just a little way. Just in a little way. A little ways goes a long ways. It's cold. Maybe find some extra hats and gloves or coats. Or I know yesterday some of the people were saying they found a coat they were dumpster diving for warmer clothes. And the coat that one of the men had on was from the dumpster, which they felt so blessed to have. And it's just really sad because a lot of these people, their clothes don't fit properly. You know, we are in America, and I've been to third world countries, and this is the kind of thing we see there. Not that it makes it okay, not that it's any better. They're still people. But we can do better than that. We can do so much better. So go bless someone today. It doesn't take much, and they're so grateful for anything. We are so blessed, and we have so much. You know, I don't have to worry about where I'm going to sleep at night, or if I have enough blankets, or if it rains, I'm going to get wet, and my stuff is going to get wet. And I know that I've taken that for granted a lot. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents today. I hope that you have a blessed day. Like and subscribe on Life in KMAX if you feel led to do so. And yeah, go be a light today.